2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're bringing you the Chicago Bulls out at United Center as they'll face off against the Detroit Pistons. And guys, for the Pistons, they look at this as a great chance to grab another road win. They know they're the better team and come into this matchup confident and ready to take care of business. And tonight we'll be seeing Andre Drummond, pound for pound, one of the toughest players in the game, a monster in the post. Guys, is he the most physically punishing player in the league, Shaq?
Yes, the amount of space he takes up in the middle is impressive. He shrugs off all sorts of contact inside.
Well, he's got a blend of size and explosiveness, which is kind of unique. I haven't really seen a big man ever with size and explosiveness ever.
I can't really recall anybody either, Kenny. It's an excellent point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm racking my brain going back years and years and years in this league, and I can't think of a guy who is as physically punishing and intimidating just when you look at it.
And you think about it. You could look around, there's pictures of players all in this room, and I still can't see anyone who has that kind of culture.
What? Whoa! What?
Take it back to Kevin, Ernie.
Okay.
Oh! Shaq was pretty imposing.
No, don't say it now. It's too late.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's too late. I don't want to hear it.
Right behind Andre Drummond. You got my vote.
Chicago, Illinois, home of the Bulls in a fine Eastern Conference battle at the United Center. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the fourth member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. And, of course, Jose Calderon, a new phase in his career, playing today as a Detroit Piston for the first time.
You know, I'm excited and somewhat anxious to see how this team is going to evolve since the trade was made. I mean, he is a guy that could end up being a key player for them as we get ready to hit that stretch run.
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
And it's the Pistons to start out. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. They've got Drummond. Robinson is out there with Jackson. Then there's Griffin. And it's Johnson in at the 3. Now here's Griffin. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is, Greg, when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And he makes the first. And Chris, it must be fun for you watching two teams who look for a lot of their offense in the low block.
I mean, there's a real art to being on that low block. If you think about it, you can facilitate just like a point guard. All you have to do is just be dominant down there. When you do that, you'll cause a double team. Your height, your position, where you're on the floor, you can see over other players, and you can find that open man. It's like playing the point guard, just from a different position.
So it's physical, but there is a lot of nuance to it as well, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely physical. Much more physical than being out top of that front of the key. But if you can handle it correctly, that means you have more space, you can be more efficient, use less dribbles, and also now with the way that players play and their skill set, they space the floor so much, so it's harder for a player to get to you and help. And if a player does commit to you with that help, that means you can find an open man and make the defense pay.
And here's Jackson after Chris Dunn made that last three-pointer. And the basket by Jackson.
Now, whenever Jackson is driving, the D is nervous. He is just brilliant at completing his drives to the rack.
Dunn passes to Lopez. To the paint. Here's Markkanen. And Markkanen throws it down.
Straight rim rocker.
It looked like, Greg, for a second, like he might rip the cylinder loose. Picked by Griffin. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Got a hand on it. They get a hand on it. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. And the Pistons with possession here. Here's Robinson. Here's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
Wow, Drummond is one of the top rebounders in the game. You have to put a body on him, maybe two, maybe three, maybe four, just to prevent him from coming away with a second chance opportunity.
Here's Dunn. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Knicks in New York. Lopez a screen. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And he wasn't going to get away with that one. Still in motion when he set that screen.
He even knew he wasn't in good position. He tried to slide himself into a better spot. The official wasn't having it.
The Pistons have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Outside Robinson. Back to Griffin. Tries a three. That doesn't go either for Griffin. And it's the Bulls with the ball. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Well, listen, I've seen worse performances offensively, but no doubt that group was inconsistent.
They would look like they had to figure it out and take a couple bad shots and be right back to where they started.
Robin Lopez, a solid big man who can clean up the glass and, Greg, get you some points on the other end.
And Robin Lopez might not have great range now, but, you know, that could change. He says he's working on a three-point shot, and his logic is that since his twin brother Brook can make threes, it can't be that hard.
Maybe. That free throw, no good.
Well, and Robin Lopez, the big piece that came to the Bulls in the Derrick Rose trade. He's always been a solid center. Plays solid defense on the block and isn't lost when it's stretched out. He does a good job of protecting the rim as well.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both. And with Robin Lopez, a very imposing player on the court, but he's also one of the more colorful characters, Chris, in the league. A very, very funny guy.
Well, I don't know what happened with him and mascots as a kid, but he's been taking his revenge out on them his whole career. He brings a great vibe to the locker room that helps with that team chemistry.
Here's Markkanen following the bucket by the Pistons. Levine can't hit.
Well executed. great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that. When he gets the separation he needs, I know he would love to have that one back.
Now here's Johnson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Robinson for 3. Second shot opportunity, and it's Drummond missing.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Markkanen. Griffin with some nice D. Detroit leading by 3. Robinson with it. Now guarded by Dunn. That's good from Johnson on the assist from Robinson.
And at 6'7", Johnson has the height to bang down low. He's terrific at getting quality shots in the post.
Bulls have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Levine against Robinson. Now the feed to Holiday. 6 to shoot. From deep. Detroit with the rebound, coming off that loss against the Nets.
And they couldn't get stops when they needed to. The opposition just too... Oh, wow. Look out.
That's a beautiful jam.
Oh, my word. I shouldn't be amazed anymore when Griffin pulls off a dunk like that, but I always seem to be. The man has some unreal moves above the rim.
There's a good screen. Dunn kicks to Levine. Markkanen sets the pick for Levine. Offensive rebound. There's the dish to Dunn. There's the pass to Markkanen. And the Bulls with another miss. And it's Detroit's ball. A big stretch here going 10-2. Taken away by Holiday. Lopez, a screen on Johnson. Holiday attacking Lopez. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
And the Pistons with possession here. It's a 5-point game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
And last year, an entertaining season series between the two ended up battling to a draw.
And both of these teams somewhat middle of the road, looking to become elite, having something to prove coming into this matchup.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Just doing the job on the backboard. And watching Andre Drummond play, he's really just an old school type center. I mean, he eats up space in the middle and finishes plays in close. Not a skilled guy who can pull a defender away from the basket.
Portis, he's checked in for the Bulls.
One shot.
And that one misses. And with Drummond, he does play like towering centers of decades past.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't great at moving the ball around or hitting shots from range, but his size and athleticism are elite and one of the best rebounders in our game.
Griffin dishes to Jackson. Overdone, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
This is ridiculous. The D has to do better. You just can't whack Jackson on these type of shots. You see, I love Reggie Jackson, how he attacks players with his drive. He uses his size nicely. He's so athletic. I mean, he has one of the best Euro steps in the game and a nice tempo change to keep the D off guard.
2 shots.
First free throw is good. And with Jackson and his ability to attack the rim, that strength plays into another strength of his, which is pulling up short and getting a jumper or a floater on the fly.
Well, that tandem of talents make Jackson such a tough assignment on defense. He has the right mentality to consistently create chances. No real easy way to defend against him.
Jackson hits both of them.
as a kid, Jackson saw a lot of the world. His dad was in the Air Force, so he lived in Italy, England, North Dakota, Florida, Colorado. He was all over the place.
And Robinson comes to help. Dunn kicks to Markkanen, feeds it to Holiday. There's the pick. Markkanen sets the pick for Holiday. Levine can't hit.
He hasn't been very precise at all this quarter.
Johnson kicks to Jackson. Robinson for three. Drummond passes to Griffin. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Griffin's got 6.
Love seeing the offense run through the big man. Drummond with great vision and terrific feet.
Jackson dishes to Robinson. Pass to Drummond. Griffin kicks to Jackson. Back to Griffin. Takes the 3. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Well, many had high hopes for what Stanley Johnson could be in the NBA, but after a rough sophomore season, questions have been raised, C-Webb. The former 9th overall pick, the player of the year in high school in Los Angeles, a terrific freshman year at Arizona. He saw a major regression in many areas of his game.
Well, look, the NBA is a different level, and when you come in as younger as Stanley came in, you're going to have to figure your way out. He's with a great organization, great coaches around. He should improve with hard work.
Stolen by Robinson. Now Detroit moving it up. Here's Griffin. Makes it off the glass. He's got 11.
And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
Holiday with it. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. And the Bulls with another miss. Pistons leading by 14. Robinson with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Johnson, the pass to Jackson. To the right side. Here's Griffin. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Well, I love how they've done it. They've built this huge lead with points in the paint, dominating physically.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Felicio's checked in for Markkanen. Valentine comes in for Justin Holiday. And it's Payne in for Dunn. And a different look here for the Pistons. Pachulia, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Reggie Bullock comes in for Stanley Johnson. Langston Galloway's checked in for Robinson. And it's Calderon in for Jackson. That's good from Blake Griffin. And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversations. What's that been like?
It's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali, he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciated what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast.
And the Pistons making a change here. Lures checked in. Portis, the pass to Kilpatrick. Felicio kicks to Portis. Pachulia with the steal. Inside and stolen by Valentine. Pass to Kilpatrick to end the drought. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Kilpatrick's got his first points in this one. Calderon dishes to Bullock. Back to Calderon from downtown. Felicio with a rebound.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Valentine passes to Portis. Count that one. Portis has got his first 2 points of the night.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
And Lure kicks to Galloway. Down low. Pachulia, no luck.
I like the burst to the bucket right there, but the finish has got to be better.
And Reggie Bullock gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Payne. Pass to Kilpatrick. 5 on the clock.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
I'd send it out to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Dave?
Yeah, Kevin, he told his players that rim protection is priority 1, 2, and 3. He said if we don't take away the driving lanes, those guys are going to be dunking on us on highlights all night. And that is not must-see TV he wants to see, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Off target from three-point range. Detroit leading by 17. Bullock dishes to Pachulia. Pachulia with the steal. 2 points. That one goes.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Yeah, you got to love it. Everything's working. Offense, defense, already a big lead.
And the pass to Kilpatrick. From 11 feet away, and Pachulia pulls it down.
He's the key if they're going to make a run. He's been way off this quarter.
From 10 feet out, here's Lure, and the layup's good off the glass.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
1:09 left here in the first quarter. Now here's Payne. He's guarded closely. From deep. The shot that time not on target. And it's Detroit the other way. Here's Bullock. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And you so often hear about how much Detroit Pistons fans pride themselves on the defense of this team. It's a part of the franchise's identity. All the fans in Detroit definitely love their defense.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And only a handful of teams have a franchise identity like that with the Pistons in defense. Maybe the Lakers playing up-tempo or Memphis grinding it out.
Well, yeah, not many teams or franchises have an identity, and that's what makes it so special to play in Detroit for that reason. There's nothing like hearing the crowd get hyped for a defensive stop.
And the second free throw, good.
Man, they are just living at the line.
The Bulls shooting well off their usual numbers, around 29% so far. Payne kicks to Portis. 32 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Kilpatrick, not enough on that one as it misses.
He's having a tough quarter scoring the basketball, unable to help them close this gap.
Here's Galloway, knocks down the 3 ball.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
There's the pick. Pass to Kilpatrick. No good on that last second attempt there. We're at the end of the first quarter, and what a blowout already in this one. Pistons ahead, running away with this one. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his older brother. His dad was his coach, and he credits his brother for inspiring him to work at his craft.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process of he started to get, recruited by college coaches, and then he, really took his game and became serious about it. And I watched his work ethic, and I watched how he, put the time in, the things he did, and that's kind of where I developed mine.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. Doesn't hurt to have a dad also who was a pro player either, and also a college coach.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And a comfortable margin for the Pistons here, guys.
I tell you what, that first quarter, you can see the game plan is a commitment to offensive rebounding.
Oh, yeah, this is how they squeezed out extra possessions and captured the early lead.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the floor for Detroit, Reggie Bullock is out there with John Lure. Then there's Calderon. Then there's Pachulia. And it's Galloway in at the 2. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. To the wing on the left. Lopez a screen. Here's Kilpatrick. That one wide left.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. The Pistons shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch. Calderon passes to Bullock. Calderon kicks to Lure. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And the call will be against Langston Galloway. That is his first foul of the game. And the Bulls making a change here. Levine's checked in. The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in, and the Bulls with another miss.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, that just shows you can do everything right sometimes, but still get the wrong result.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Lopez a screen. Payne kicks to Lopez. The putback, great positioning on the putback.
Oh, well, Lopez is terrific on the offensive glass. I love seeing him use his long arms to haul in the boards.
Lure the screen. Galloway kicks to Lure. Dishes it to Bullock. Over Levine. And it's Bullock missing.
Well, that's giving him too much space from mid-range. It doesn't hurt him there, but they can't keep doing that.
And Stan Van Gundy, known for being one of the more demanding coaches when it comes to defense. He doesn't care who you are. If you're not giving it your all on the defensive end, you're going to find yourself on the bench.
Well, he's clear with what he wants and what he expects, and, when you step on the floor.
Oh, just a solid screen to free him up. Makes the layup possible.
Calderon dishes to Galloway. He kicks it to Lure. Lets the 3 fly. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Well, Langston Galloway, the undrafted guard out of St. Joseph's. Now, look, he flew under the radar on draft day, but has proven that he could be a rotation player in the NBA. Just a natural scorer at the point guard position.
And with Galloway, he can run an offense, but his main draw is his shooting and his ability, Chris, to create scoring chances. Very hard to contain at times.
And you like having that scoring punch he brings off the bench. Decent shooter from deep who can stretch a defense. Not really an efficient scorer, but he looks to act as a catalyst.
So for the Bulls, Markkanen, he's checked in for Felicio. Justin Holiday comes in for Valentine. And it's done in for Payne.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Robinson against Levine. Plays it up and banks it in.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. Back to Jackson. And here's Johnson outside. Another three for Detroit.
Oh, and when Johnson senses the D is laying off of him, he loves going straight up with the shots, catching the D off guard. Just a very efficient shooter.
Dunn passes to Lopez. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
For Chicago, they have not yet made a free throw in the game, 0 of 2 so far.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79. And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title, but this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
Jackson dishes to Robinson. Kicks it out to Johnson. No good on the triple. The Bulls have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. And the Bulls finally committing, Greg, to a full rebuild this last offseason.
Yeah, and trading Butler was the start of it. I mean, they got some young players to build around and a pick, and it won't be an easy road ahead, but one they felt they needed to make.
Inside, and it's Drummond missing. The Bulls have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Now, here's Dunn, guarded by Jackson. And stolen by Drummond. Dunn kicks to Lopez. Count it, good. Lopez has got 11.
He played a very solid first quarter, and now he's taking it up a notch here in the second.
Drummond passes to Jackson. Back to Drummond. Outside for Robinson. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Outside, Levine. Markkanen sets the pick for Dunn. Kicks it to Markkanen. To the middle. 6 on the shot clock. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. They get it again. Lopez. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
He's one of the guys having a solid game for them, but as a whole, they've been lacking.
Griffin kicks to Jackson. Johnson outside. Robinson dishes to Drummond. Back to Robinson. And another 3 for Detroit.
Well, check this out. He didn't have any threes in the first, but he kept shooting, and now he just knocked down his second in a row.
Now, here's Dunn. Defense is right there. Here's Lopez. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, he has put forth an outstanding effort on offense this quarter. He will need to keep it up if they really want to cut into this lead.
Chris, there are so many players that can make you just scratch your head and contemplate how did they make that play. With that in mind, which players just amaze you the most with what they can do on the floor?
It's so many. I mean, look up there and let's look at the Splash family with Kevin Durant. The fact that he can score with ease off the dribble or on the catch. And look at Thompson, his partner, can get you 60 points off of 11 dribbles. So just catching, shooting. And Curry, he's Mr. Video Game. He is the human video game. He shoots, makes, and takes shots that you would think no one else has the right to take. So those guys already. But then you have younger guys like Antetokounmpo up there in Milwaukee. His length, his athletic ability, his love for the game, his passion. Watching him get involved in those games, he's so exciting to watch. He comes to mind as well.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
Levine for three, but they recover it. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Dunn passes to Holiday. To the inside, and the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
And that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Bobby Portis has checked in for Chicago. Detroit's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. Griffin sets the screen for Jackson. The dish to Griffin. Stolen by Markkanen. Here's Dunn. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Markkanen sets the pick for Dunn. Outside, Levine. They set the screen. 4 on the clock. The shot by Markkanen. Nobody around. And the 3 off target.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Robinson kicks to Jackson. Drummond a screen. Off the screen. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got 8.
I mean, come on. Jackson is so effective from the mid-range area of the court. He sticks these shots all the time.
Outside, Levine. Markkanen in the corner. Fires the 3. Rebound, Detroit. And Griffin, here we go. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Griffin's got 4 this quarter.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Portis, the pass to Levine. Shot from 12. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. He has 6.
Well, after not making anything from the field in the first, I mean, he has really elevated his game this second quarter.
The feed to Robinson. Drummond with a screen on Levine. Robinson. And Drummond kicks to Robinson. Here's Johnson. Drummond dishes to Johnson. There's Jackson with the 3. The reverse. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
And even though they're down, I like the way they're pounding the ball inside. It's leading to a lot of points in the paint.
And Chris, if you're a Pistons fan, you have to be happy with the direction this team is headed. They have a good, youthful core, a brand new arena. Things are looking up.
Well, yeah, 3 championships in the history. 2 of those were back-to-back, and another final. But if you look back at the Pistons' history, just like most organizations, it's full of valleys and peaks. And they just went through a valley for the past 7 years or so. And we'll see how things are lining up for them. It looks promising, but they have to come through and execute.
And for the Bulls, they're shooting not great, 40% for the game. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now here's Payne. He's guarded by Calderon. Offensive rebound. It's tipped.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. And there's the call on Pachulia. That is his first foul of the game. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. 1:53 left in the first half of basketball. Here's Kilpatrick. 17 points in his last outing. And yes, it's good. Here's Galloway. They set the pick. Now here's Calderon. He has 5. Bullock got a piece of it.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
To the wing right side. Here's Kilpatrick. We're covering, and he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
They did a better job of getting it inside in that first. They've lost some of that physical edge here.
For Chicago, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
Shooting 1. That's all you.
1:03 left here in the second. Now Calderon. He feeds it to Lure. And here's Calderon. Shot from 12. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Bullock's got 7 points in the game. And Chicago shooting it very well. 54% from the floor in the second quarter. Here's Kilpatrick. He has 5. Here's Payne. The second chance effort. No good. And Detroit the other way now.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Calderon for 3. Felicio with a rebound. Felicio's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Payne. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And here they come. The finish. And he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
And that's just some great vision there from Calderon to see the wide open man for the easy make.
And so is Detroit in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Stan Van Gundy. Coach, a very good first half for you guys. How do you assess the game so far?
I thought our energy was good, our ball movement was good, and it always looks good if the ball goes in and guys are making shots.
That's the name of the game, right, Coach? Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. His great performance last game out seemed to carry right over into tonight. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, let me tell you, the evolution of Blake Griffin, you're seeing right here. A strong, athletic power forward. He's really transitioned into relying on his skills. Great ball handler for his size and much more consistent shooter now from distance.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotation. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And you know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You look at Blake Griffin in this game, he's been everywhere.
And I'll tell you, his work on the blocks in that first half, really impressive.
Oh, yeah, especially how he established great position and showing some nice footwork and really read how the defense was playing.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Markkanen and Lopez are together down low. And it's Holiday in at the 3, the small forward. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Offensive rebound. Here's Dunn. No good from outside.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Right side, Griffin. Stolen by Levine. Here's Dunn. And too long on the shot.
0 for 3 now since halftime. Taking them a little while to find their rhythm.
And one of the pieces of the Jimmy Butler trade this offseason, Zach LaVine finds himself as a...
Watch out. Watch out. Oh, that's an old-fashioned rim rapper.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now. Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Jackson passes to Griffin. And it's Drummond missing. For Chicago, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room with the break. And Levine, here we go. And then Levine with the jam.
And this is why defensively you can't afford to let Levine get to the rim. Too much explosiveness.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. And the layup's good off the glass. Griffin's got 20.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
I mean, I don't know whether to say it's amazing or it's sad, but you're down double digits and you still allow an uncontested layup. Where is the pride? Where is your heart?
And the NBA game is evolving, Chris, you know that. And if you were starting back at square one, say, and trying to develop your skills to prepare yourself for a pro career, is there anything you do differently to prepare yourself for how the game is being played now?
That's a great question. You know, I remember playing in Washington, and I shot over like 35% from the three-point line, and I remember in the paper they were saying, you know, we don't need big fellas to do that. So I got right back in the post, and so the game has changed so much. And so I would really say that I would balance the work that I did in the post with outside of the post. I would just make sure that I would continue to stretch the floor as far as three-pointers, to give guys room to drive. And I would have definitely continued to work on my ball handling, maybe where Picker could have screened for me, and then I could have been the initiator, since in most times I was kind of that point forward. But for the most part, no, I would have tried to put the same effort in, but definitely with different skill sets. You get to play differently now. You know, when we think about it, I don't think Larry Bird got to shoot 2 3-pointers a game. Imagine if he would have got to just let 7 go. You know, I don't know what we would ask him, except would you have to ice your wrist after games a little bit more, because you would maybe shoot more. So I think the freedom would have been fun, but I don't think I would have had to prepare any differently.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. And that one falls for Robinson. And Chris, you played during an era against a team that many consider the greatest of all time, that 96 Chicago Bulls team with Jordan and Pippen and a great roster. Just thinking back to that team during that second three-peat, what was it like when you were going up against that Bulls team?
So tough to play against that team. Jordan is arguably the best player that's ever, you know, laced them up, and Pippen was so tough offensively and rebounding. Rodman as well on the boards, and then you had guys in a system that was, you know, just really too much. You know, it's hard to say. Of course, in my opinion, having played against them, they're the best team of all time. But Bill Russell once told me, you know, ghosts can't play, so don't get caught up in comparing errors that you really can't prove it. So, yeah, of course, they're the best of all time to me, but it's fun watching these young kids play today.
Levine dishes to Lopez. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. And Lopez throws it down.
Look, Lopez is on a roll. He's a high percentage shooter who really concentrates on taking high quality shots.
Griffin sets the screen for Jackson. Outside Robinson. Back to Jackson. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Griffin. Detroit, no good that time either.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Lopez left side. On the mark with the 15-footer. Lopez has got 4 this quarter.
Well, look, Lopez doesn't hesitate once he gets the ball. I like seeing him be aggressive on offense.
Jackson passes to Johnson. He dishes it to Griffin. Feeds it to Drummond. Deep 2 from Robinson. And that one's on target from the wing. Robinson's got 12. Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Lopez kicks to Holiday. The dish to Levine. Lopez, a screen on Robinson. And Levine, here we go. Stolen by Robinson. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far for Lopez.
And plain and simple, they just don't have the three-point shot tonight. They'll need to keep taking them to keep the defense honest, but they can't expect it to be a major source of points the way they have been clanking it off the iron so far. Just a bad time to go cold from deep as a team.
Done with it. Lopez a screen. Now here's Dunn. Pass to Markkanen. Lopez a screen. Shot clock at 6. Levine dishes to Lopez. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
Well, there's no quitting Lopez, even when he's getting hammered. He finishes with this soft touch.
And certainly while the injury for Zach LaVine and his ACL was devastating, Greg, it's good to see him back on the court, and he seems to be on track to making a full recovery.
And Kevin, still amazing to me to see just how far the medical community has come in terms of treating ACL injuries. LaVine is such an athletic monster. To lose even a little burst would have been huge. Fortunately, though, with modern medicine, it's going to allow this guy to make the most of his potential still.
That free throw good from Lopez.
Lopez. Now, this guy, he's a reliable role player, a stiff defender, and an intelligent shooter as well.
Jackson passes to Robinson. Back to Jackson. Dishes to Robinson. Jackson in the corner. Three-pointer. Markkanen pulls it in. Markkanen's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Levine kicks to Dunn. Outside Holiday. And the 3-ball is good. Holiday's got 5 points in the quarter.
And look, the D has to be talking out there. They can't make threes that easy for them.
Here's Jackson. An easy 2 points on the layup. And the Pistons lead by 21.
Well, that lead's only going to keep growing if he keeps shooting like he has so far.
Dunn dishes to Lopez. To the inside. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Lopez has got 9 points here in the second half. Pistons leading by 19. Outside Jackson. On the wing, Johnson. Pass to Pachulia. Over Lopez. Pachulia, no luck. Chicago has gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Dunn passes to Lopez. He kicks it to Dunn. There's the feed to Levine. And there's the pass to Dunn. Here's Markkanen. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And I tell you what, Markkanen has already mastered the art of the bank shot. Loves getting it up there and knocking that one down. You have got to be in his space if you want to disrupt his rhythm.
Pachulia kicks to Johnson. Left block shot on the way. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Chicago called for the foul.
And no longer a guy you're okay to foul. Griffin's made steady improvement at the free throw line.
first free throw is good. Chris, we all know you were a big Pistons fan growing up, and of course that means that you had plenty of chances to root against the Chicago Bulls. When you go back and you think about when you were young, was there one Bulls player that you loved to hate, so to speak?
You know, a little secret, I always cheered for Detroit, but I never hated the Bulls. Isaiah and Jordan were my favorite players. That's a little bit of a cop-out along with Magic, Bird, Dominique. But no. I really loved Artis Gilmore as well coming before. But no, I really can't say I had a player on the Bulls that I didn't really like.
Here's Payne. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Calderon kicks to Griffin. In the corner, it's Galloway. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Griffin. Galloway has got his second basket of the night. Now here's Payne. He's guarded by Calderon. Here's Kilpatrick. He has 5. Shoots from the right block. They get it back. Lopez misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. Detroit leading by 19 points from about 16, and it's off the back rim. No good. Now Payne. Pass to Lopez. And here is Valentine. Here's Felicio. Not going to go that time. Nice D from Griffin. The Pistons have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. To the wing right side. Oh, Griffin in position. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. That's tipped. It's 2-on-1. Here's Galloway. Griffin dishes to Bullock. The shot's good. Bullock's got 11 points.
Once he gets open on the low block, it's just a matter of getting him the ball.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Payne. It's blocked.
It's clear this just isn't his night. I mean, if they're going to keep him on the floor, I think his best role would be to be a decoy.
Outside for Griffin. He feeds it to Calderon. From beyond the arc. Rebound by the Bulls.
He hit a 3 in the first half. Now he's searching for his first outside shot in the second half.
Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Calderon. Lays it in off the breakaway. Calderon's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Yeah, you can always bet on Calderon to come up with a steal or 2 in a game. And that time, boy, did it pay off big.
Payne passes to Felicio. Back to Payne. Lopez, a screen on Calderon. Now here's Payne. Tight defense on him. And the basket by Kilpatrick.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Here's Galloway. 6 points for him. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And just the sheer power of Griffin, one of the best finishers in the league after contact.
He's made all 5 of his attempts at the line so far.
And he's putting together a solid year at the free throw line, 79% overall.
Portis, he's checked in for Robin Lopez. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Lewis checked in.
One shot.
And Chris, growing up a fan of the Pistons, did you have any particular moment that sticks out to you about this franchise?
Oh, so many moments. Isaiah Thomas winning MVP in the All-Star game. So many moments. Joe Dumars playing great defense on Michael Jordan, sweeping the 1989 finals. That was our first time. And in high school, I remember we had these little pocket TVs that one of my friends had. We actually got to watch the game as the Pistons played against Portland. So, of course, I have many memories. You want some more? I keep going on and on and on and on.
Calderon, that's good.
what a find by Griffin. He's a lot more skilled as a passer than he gets credit for as far as power forwards go. He has terrific vision.
1:25 left in the third quarter of the game. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
The Bulls have been very active in revamping this roster. A lot of trades and player movement. They were worried of becoming a treadmill team.
For Chicago, they have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. With some lackluster finishes to their season the last couple years, that worry of finishing poorly isn't going away for Bulls fans. But luckily, the Bulls have a history, Chris, of shaking things up.
It's never easy to make that choice. The front office has been proactive in shaking things up. Not easy, but they are committed to change right now.
And the Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in. And so he hits both.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Bulls trail by 21. We've got 1:08 left in the third. Now here's Valentine. He's covered closely. Pass to Felicio. Off target with his 3.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Kicks it to Bullock. Launches a 3. Here's Drummond. The stupendous finish in traffic. Drummond's got 6.
Sometimes all you have to do is dump the ball down to Drummond and get out of the way. He'll take care of the rest, utilizing his massive frame so well.
They set the screen. Valentine kicks to Payne. Gets the bucket and the foul. Drummond, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Henry Ellenson's checked in for Detroit. For Chicago, they have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10. The Pistons making a change here. Pachulia's checked in.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Payne. 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Galloway. 6 points for him. Lure the screen. Galloway dishes to Bullock. Calderon in the corner. The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Pistons ahead, just dominating this one. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Pistons leading by 20. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. John Lure's out there with Pachulia. Then there's Reggie Bullock. Then there's Calderon. And it's Galloway in at the shooting guard position. And Jose Calderon gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Chicago shooting around 41% on the night. They set the pick. Pass to Kilpatrick. Portis kicks to Valentine. Clock at 6. The pass to Kilpatrick. Here's Dunn. And no good. The Pistons shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Calderon has the open look. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Calderon's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pistons. Here's Felicio. Banked in off the glass.
And the height Dunn possesses is what allows him to see the floor so well. So good at setting up his guys for quality shots.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Chris, as we all know, you grew up in the Detroit area. It's a town that has seen glory days and hard times. Talk about what it means to you to come from Detroit and what you see in the future for the Motor City.
Well, it means everything to me to be a Detroiter. I think that's what made me successful in my career, is that I took on the heart of the city and the fact that it's a hard-hat town, a blue-collar town, and you have to earn your keep and you have to wish positive for the future. And so it's been great coming from there, and the hard times being from there, you know that we're resilient, and so it's great to see positive energy enter back into the city. It's great to see the Pistons play in the city for the first time in over 20 years, and so I see the future is bright for Detroit because Detroiters are always there, and as long as we have the people, everything else will be great.
You and I broadcast the last game in the Palace, and I'm wondering what you think the impact will be with the Pistons, as you just talked about, in their brand new building.
I think the impact would be great, but for fans. You know, when I was younger, I wanted to see the city. I wanted to see our team play, and I only lived a few miles from downtown, but about 30 or 40 miles from the Palace, and so I'm happy that the kids that supported the team, that dreams about being a Piston one day, I'm glad they finally get to go to a game. I'm glad that Detroit finally gets to really call the Pistons their own. What is it going to do? It's going to infuse positivity, and so hopefully for everyone, it's a positive environment.
Right through the D for the layup.
Just grown man work from Dunn inside. His incredible athleticism really helping get him these types of shots.
There's a screen by Robinson. Johnson, the pass to Lure. To the paint. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Here's Dunn. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. They set the screen. And Levine, here we go. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
He got pretty much a free run to the hoop right there. They might just count those as automatic points.
Jackson kicks to Robinson. Lure a screen on Levine. Robinson. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Bulls trail by 21. The tray. Again, Levine missing.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Markkanen dishes to Holiday. Passes it to Portis. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got 3 assists in the game. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Jackson kicks to Pachulia. Outside Robinson. Add another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
Nice job getting inside for the layup. Got the D thinking. Jump shot. Gave a little pump fake. And then off to the races.
Levine against Robinson. Off the screen. Portis, the pass to Levine. Tries again. And it's good on the layup.
Yeah, he has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the lip.
Well, let's just call it what it is. Great body control on the lane. Takes the contact. Still knocks it in softly off the glass. I mean, that shot just can't be blocked the way he adjusted.
Bulls trail by 21. Done with it. There's the pick. He dishes it to Holiday. Feeds it to Dunn. Just 5 to shoot. No good. And it's Detroit the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Jackson kicks to Johnson. Lure a screen on Holiday. Here's Johnson. Rebound by the Bulls. Markkanen's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Levine with it. Robinson picks him up. Robinson against Levine. Now here's Dunn. Plenty of space. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
And you have to love whenever Dunn squares up from mid-range. His jump shot is just money in the bank.
There's a screen by Robinson. Now Lure. There's the dish to Robinson. Another 3 for Detroit.
He is a dangerous outside shooter, and if you leave him open, he can bury them consistently.
And here is Dunn inside, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Jackson kicks to Pachulia. Here's Lure. Off target from outside. Bulls trail by 20. Here's Dunn. Pass to Portis. Dunn with it. There's the pick. Over Jackson. And it's Chicago scoring again.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
Out to the right wing. Pachulia with a clean look. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got his 6th assist on the night. Dunn passes to Portis. Levine a screen on Jackson. Here's Portis. Detroit with the rebound. Lure's got 4 rebounds in this game. And stolen by Dunn. Levine with it. Robinson picks him up. Levine dishes to Markkanen. They get it again. Goes back up. Portis can't get it to go. Detroit leading by 21. Here's Robinson down low. Lure. Markkanen pulls it in.
Yeah, good interior D there. Prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly, then with the quick reaction time.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the 4th. Robinson kicks to Jackson. Pachulia the pass to Johnson. Pistons passing it around. Lure the screen. Clock at 6. Johnson dishes to Lure. In the corner, it's Robinson. Drills the three-pointer. Robinson's got a couple of three-pointers now in the 4th for the Pistons.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Levine kicks to Markkanen. Dishes it to Dunn. No one near him. He's now made half of those 10 shots in the game. That's his 5th basket.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Jackson kicks to Pachulia. Back to Jackson. Johnson outside. Holiday with the defensive effort.
You know what? His finishing ability, not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Dunn kicks to Holiday. A three-pointer is right on target.
And he's not going to miss those very often. Even from deep, the D has to close out a little stronger on him.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
They are throwing the ball away at an alarming rate. And I'm sure that's what they're discussing right now, those turnovers. They have to take care of the basketball, value each possession.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed.
It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
They'd lost 2 straight coming into this one, and he knew he needed to put his foot down. He showed leadership tonight, getting them back on the winning track. Lopez, he's checked in for Portis. And Detroit with a change here, too. Griffin's checked in. Pistons leading by 19. Outside Jackson. Overdone. Detroit, no good that time either.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Back to Levine. They set the pick. Launches it. And it's Griffin with the rebound. Griffin's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. On the wing, Johnson. From outside the arc, sinks the triple.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
And you have to like this. Why? Because it's helping them space the floor, which can create other opportunities.
Levine kicks to Lopez. This one for 3. That one doesn't go. And the Pistons now going the other way. Outside Jackson. Robinson passes to Johnson. Holiday with the block. They push it up 4 on 3. Stolen by Jackson.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Detroit.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And guys, at this point in the long NBA season, this will go down as win number 25.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Blake Griffin.
The energy he played with tonight was amazing. And it paid off the most on the glass, where he dominated the rebounding stats.
And that one misses.
And when you look at what the Pistons have done, pretty clear this is a team that has a vision of who they want to be. Strong defensively, really good at rebounding the basketball, and I think deliberate and patient on the offensive side of the floor.
Picked by Pachulia. Jackson drives in. Then Pachulia with the dunk.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
Now here's Payne, guarded by Jackson. Kilpatrick passes to Vonleh. Here's Kilpatrick. Lopez a screen. Shot clock at 5. 11 feet away. And it's Kilpatrick missing.
Not easy to miss a clean look inside like that, but he manages to do it.
Jackson, that's a 2-pointer. And that one hits back iron.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
And the basket by Kilpatrick. Detroit dictating the flow. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Griffin dishes to Jackson. Back to Robinson. He kicks to Jackson. And so Detroit takes this one by a big margin. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.